Okay, so on this project or on this brooder, you have to make a bunch of these pieces. What I'm starting with are the 4 basic pieces, the 2 sides, or the front, the back, the top, and the bottom. Now, this piece is the back. Looks like this. And we're going to do the bottom piece. Now there are arrows on this thing. This one has arrows right here, and so I need to find out which piece on here has the same arrows. And they are, this side, they're right here. So this one is right here in the middle. So this does not go to either, well, this is the bottom. So what that tells me, I know this is the bottom piece because it has this big square right here in it. And I just know that that's the bottom part of it. And so I know that that side is going to have to go to the bottom. So the arrow on this one is here in the middle, and on here it's in the middle. And I'll show you what those, you see the arrows right there in the middle. So what you do then is the part that sticks up like this, you're going to then push the one that's got the notches, push it on top of that one. And they just snap in. And it's, I found that the grid part is a little bit harder to work with because you can't really push down on it very well. So just snap them in. I know I say just snap. This has a little bit of extra plastic on the edges, and it makes it a little bit difficult to push them in place. Okay, so if that's the back, then the other piece is the front, and the one with a big hole is the front. So the arrows on this one are right here and here. There's 2 of them. So the side that has the 2 arrows are right here. The other one has them right here on the actual notches themselves. So this is on the larger section. And again, just push the cutout part onto the part that sticks out. This is the part, I always have a problem with that one. There we go. And you can make like the L shape and the next L shape and then put those together if you want. It doesn't matter how exactly they go together. You just want to make sure that your arrows match. And there is a reason for that. And I'll show you here in just a second when we get to that point. So push these on. Again, there's a lot of extra plastic right here, and it kind of makes this a little bit harder to push on here. That and my hands are getting tired from having done this all day. All right, and the last one. All right, so there we go. That's one section. So the next thing you want is the one of the sides. You need to figure out which way where you want your water to be in this setup. So the way that it was shown to me is when you look straight at it, the water is on the far left, and then the heater comes in from the right. I don't know if it really matters or not, if they should be opposite, but I know when I set up my brooders, I like to have the water on the cooler side of the brooder. It just keeps the water from getting nasty. You know, if you wanted it, you can put it anywhere you want. You can put your water wherever you want in this thing, this automatic water. But one of the things you're gonna need to do is you have to cut out the hole where the heater's gonna come in. Now, every single piece looks like this, but you don't want to cut out the big hole in every single piece. You just want it on whichever side your heater's gonna be on. The heater only goes across about 2 sections. It doesn't go across all 3 sections. It's just not that long. So one side you need to cut it out, the other side you don't. So I'm cutting out that piece here. And you can just use a little X-Acto knife or a blade of whatever you've got. Just cut these little tabs on it. that are holding it in. And it's really easy to cut, actually, if I don't stab myself. So you want that one here, and you want this little piece here. What this piece is kind of like a, it's where the thermometer goes. It's already attached to the heater, but that's where it comes through on this. The other thing that you want to cut is where your water's going to go. Now, this one here that I'm building is going to be my bottom brooder. So I think I'm going to set it up as tall as I can make my water to go. So all the others I've always cut this bottom notch here. This one I'm going to cut the top one because I'm going to have, like I said, the water's going to go higher. So just cut out these notches. There we go. And I just found it was easier to do this before we move on. You can build this and put it all together and then cut your pieces out if you want. It's up to you. I just thought that this was an easier way to do it. Okay, so looking at this, this is the front. This is where the feeder's gonna go. So what I want to do is just put this on here, and we're just going to line it up. Now, there's these little knobbies all around this thing, and then in here there's a bunch of little holes too. So all you got to do is line those up, and then push it in. If it pushes in. Sometimes they go in really well, sometimes they don't. Just takes a little bit of wiggling to get it in. This is where you definitely, I didn't think I would need it, and then I found out I really did, but you want a rubber mallet. And I found out, so you don't want to be pounding where these little knobbies are, so I always just do the corners. Or the other thing you can do, this is why they say build this on carpet, is because you can do this and go this way with it. Just make sure those are set in there really well. Now, I just put this on the wrong end. Huh. Whoops. So we're going to undo it. Good thing I didn't get started for too long. Started. Okay. I need it on this side. This side. Alright, so we'll just do it. This is a little bit harder to see the piece, all the knobs. That's why I like going the other direction with it. Start at the bottom first. I promise you, the others did not want this difficult to put together. Line it up just right the first way. It doesn't help that some of these pieces, they're still kind of thin and they've gotten bent. I'm sure in shipping with heat. There we go. Awesome. Okay, so now that's put together. Now, the next thing I need is a middle piece. And this is what the middles look like. This is a support where the heater sits on it. So you want to make sure that you've got your pieces like this, the front, matched up. Now, if you notice, I don't know if y'all can see this or not, but there's a hole and then it skips a hole and then a hole, so where these would line up. This is where it's really important that your arrows, when you are putting the other side together, are matching up, because if you don't match those up, then your pieces here are going to end up being into the same hole, and they will not, then your pieces like this won't go together. So the piece I put on top of this one will go into the holes that aren't, that don't have a peg in it right now. All right, and then the next piece, and these I already put together. So like I said, there are 3 of these sections per piece, per level, I guess. I know it may seem like, oh, this is really flimsy, but once it gets done and put together, you're gonna see how it's all been, it is really sturdy. It's easy stuff. Okay, the next middle section. Originally, when I first saw this, I thought that the sections were going to be separate, and to me that would have been really ideal to be able to separate them. Now I could end up, I think they make a piece that fits in, well, it's in the quail cages, the quail breeder cages. There are pieces that that have the dividers. You can make them, you can put a section into it. Okay, so, well, no, we'll put the last one on, because there's a step in the video that they made at the place. They kind of skip what I'm about to do and they do it later, and it's really hard because you have to crawl into this thing, and that's just really a pain in the, you know. So we're gonna do it beforehand. Logan put this back on, and he did not put it on correctly. Remember, I said that they will not match up if you do not put them on correctly.
Don't call out the arrows.
No, you didn't. Oh, maybe something didn't line up. Does that arrow line up? That one lines up. This does not.
That one was your mistake.
Okay, then maybe it was my mistake. Oh, goodness. Okay. Matching our arrows. Very important to match the arrows. Like I said, it's not that hard. It's just, I don't know how many, 12 of these to put together. Okay, well, let's try this again. Do they line up? Maybe that's lining up right there a lot better. this piece on here. So before I move on, what I'm gonna do, so the way this sits, it's gonna sit kind of like this. Okay, the heater's gonna come in from there, so the heater's gonna cover up this side of it, and my water's gonna be over here. So I need to put in where my water piece is gonna be. So again, there's all these, you see these little hole brackets here. I only want to open this one because this is where the water height adjuster is going to go, and the bracket that holds our automatic water. This is where it's going to be. So this piece, it looks like this. There are two little screw pieces here at the back. What we're going to do is I'm going to turn this one sideways because this is going to be my top one. This goes into the hole here in the back. And this piece really doesn't matter right now. Now there's two little brackets here, and then there's this bigger one. This piece here has to go in between these two, and you might have to push that thing up, and then it fits right in there. It will not fit over this bracket. So then on the back, we're going to push that through and twist. You might have to have a screwdriver to help twist it or not. Now, if this was the smaller one, it would have another one of these holes down here, and that's where this other little yellow one will come in play. It doesn't, I mean, you can do like this, I guess, but it really doesn't do anything. All right, so after that part, what we're gonna add is the tubing. Okay, so this is the tubing piece that goes on here. I don't know if this will fit. No, it doesn't fit. Okay, so I tried to do this earlier where I attached this already. It's really a pain to attach in here, but we're going to attach it. It goes to this. This is the water. Now it's set up. This is like a nipple water, but that's not all of it. So we're gonna put this on first because they're just a pain. There we go, nice and snug. Now what we're gonna use are these float waters. You open this up, stick the nipple part. There's a hole right here inside of it, and you're just gonna stick this nipple right into that hole piece and then snap it on. Same thing with this one. Now I guess you could probably use it as a, I did wash these out. You could use it with just the nipple part, I don't know. But I don't know, you probably could. So right now I'm just gonna set this in here. This is kind of a pain to put this in. Oh, I said this was going to be the bottom, so that's how you adjust this. This thing twists out, and you can go, and then you just twist it, and it goes back up. You can put it wherever you want it to go. And that's where I want this one, because I'm going to have it up high. This will fit here, but if you notice, the tubing won't go through here. I mean, it might, but I think it'll put a kink in it, I think. So, I don't know. We're gonna have it, will it fit through there? This fits. It's gonna kink it, so that's really not gonna work. But this just goes in here and it twists and snaps like that. So, and I'll pull it back once I get the thing on the other side. All right, so now we need the last piece. This, we just line it up again. Okay. And hammer it on. Go. Okay, The next piece is our supports on this thing. This is also the legs for it as well. This is what connects each piece to the other one. So what we're going to start with is one leg, and there's a flat side and then there's an open side. Now I did a lot of looking into this because to me I would want this side on the outside because it looks prettier, but if you do it that way, it won't fit right. So they have to go this way, which to me, I don't know why they just didn't cover that. So what you want to do is put in, these are called mollies. They're little plastic, I guess screw-in like pieces. So you put in a molly, and then we're taking an aluminum rod and you're gonna shove it into here. This has an opening here, so I like to make sure that's all the way down, and just shove it into there. All right, now we take a screw and we just put the screw in here. And this is the really fun part. They recommend vice grips. I didn't have any. And so they say some type of grippy. I was like, okay, I didn't know what a grippy was. Found out it's anything that's got a like rubber type surface to it to hold this rod, because when we go and do this on the other side, it'll just spin. So, and also you really want a power screwdriver. And yes, it's gonna skip, and yes, you can strip your screws. Thank goodness they send you extras. All right, so that's what it did. It just screwed that in place. So then we go and we do this again on the other side. Now there's two holes here, and you want to do this bottom one here. You don't want to do this top one. I'm not sure what the top one's for. I haven't figured that out because it doesn't get used. It must be for something else, one of the other kits or something. All right, so again, molly, screw, hole, put that in. Hold tight on your aluminum hole. All right, so there's one. Now we're gonna do this again for a second one. Just set that there. So in from the open end, grab a molly, stick it in. And again, some of these are not, they've got, the openings aren't clean, I guess, so sometimes that molly doesn't go in very easily. And you want to be careful that you don't bend these aluminum rods. So be careful with them. Don't crush them, don't bend them, don't, you know, because they don't send extras of those. Right, other side. I could have had one of these already made up, I guess, but I was trying to make ahead of time as much as I could for you. Okay, so now I've got the two legs. There's a short stubby end here, and then of course the rest of it's the same length. This is the bottom. So there's a hole here, and there's a hole in the back here. And you're gonna shove these down. Not shove, but they'll fall on their own. Gravity feed them. So these are easy to see. The other ones are inside. And this is why I do not have the fronts on these yet. Because you need to get in here. So you gotta shove this into that corner. Get it in there, and there we go. And get it to the next one. Check the outside. Get it here. And it goes through. And then all the way to this one. And then the bottom one. We gotta get it into its little section. Did it go in? Okay, it went in. Okay. And then we do the front piece, same thing. Yeah, you get to crawl into these. So if if you're like a big guy or something, you might need somebody smaller to crawl into this thing. Can't have any big hairdos. Way down to the bottom one. Alright, there we go. So now we have this side in. Now we're going to flip this over. Don't come out. These poles and stuff are really what's keeping all of this together. Not only does it provide support for it, it's also keeping it from coming undone. All right, so now putting the mollies in, try to get it through that hole. And then putting this one in. Go ahead and do this one. Okay, now this is where I need Logan's help. If you want to put that on the table, Logan, just have it right here. So what Logan's gonna do is Logan's gonna hold the pole while I'm screwing it in. Because like I said, when you go to screw the thing in, it's just gonna spin in there. So you've got to have some way to hold it. If you've got vice grips, they need to have a rubber end on them, and you can just clip it on there and let it catch on its own. And all he's doing, we're using a mouse pad. It has the rubber on the bottom, and then he just wraps it around here and holds onto it. Which one are you doing? Ready? I was trying to think if I could find a koozie or something that might work, but I couldn't find them. Okay. Got it? Awesome. Okay. So that's the main structure now put together. I'm going to turn it back upside down. So what I want to put on, well, what I want to do next is I want to get this piece I was telling you about with the water hose that's up pane. So this is the T thing for the water. This is going to be the bottom one too. So what I need, we've got a bunch of tubing here that they sent. So this one, I feel like I'm missing a tubing. 1, 3, 4. Okay. All right. We're gonna use this one because I think this will work. So this is gonna be my drain because this is the bottom, so this is my drain piece. So I'm gonna put this in here. And like I said, these are, ooh. I think that'll work. Okay, and then this piece is gonna go back here, and this is where I didn't want to have it attached because it's a little bit easier if I don't have anything attached, or if I don't have it hooked on the end. Get it to where it will naturally sit on its own. Okay. Since this is going to be my plug end, the end that's going to drain, they give you a little plug that goes in the end of this too. So if you want to drain the system, all you got to do is just pull this plug. All right. So with that, the next thing is the heater. Remember I said these are radiant heaters. Okay, so this is what they look like. This is your thermometer here. So there's no light. There's no light to it at all. You can install a light bulb if you want light on it. It looks like, I don't know if this is on and off. I'll have to read the instructions on it. But unfortunately, this is in Celsius. So I've got to look up what I need my temperature at to be for Celsius. I know 37 degrees is equivalent to 99 for incubating. So I'll probably need it around the 25 to 30 mark. I don't know. I'll have to look. Anyways, I think this may be for the light switch that is over here. But this light is not used for, it's just used to put light in the brooder. Because like I said, this is completely covered. So we're just gonna put this in here. You wanna make sure that this is sitting in here. You can see, remember I told you there's the support for it. This needs to go, this piece needs to go through the hole that we cut out, and that's it. That's how it goes. So see, it doesn't even go to the next support down there. It's only sitting at, this is being supported here, but not there. Okay, back to being upright. And you can put that heater in, you know, when it's this position. Now there is this piece here. This is the cover for the light. I guess I should have done that while I had it up like this. This fits up here above it. And this is if you're gonna have a light in here. This is gonna protect the, it just shoves in there. It's gonna protect that plastic up top from getting hot and melting. So next I need to put in our doors. This is what the doors look like. They have this little piece here that you can rotate, but watch out because this thing does come out of here. But you rotate them, and then you can push this up or down or however you want it to whatever height you need it at, and then you're gonna twist it closed. I do recommend you need them even though, because otherwise it does get in the way of trying to open the door. So the way these go in, these two are facing that way, this one's facing this way. So you kind of put it in here like this, and then just do like that. Open it up. There is a notch here that it comes out. It's angled like this. So just push over until you click over it, and there you go. So now our door is on. So we got to do that for all three of these. It's really easy to go on. You can put these on beforehand, but to me it was just a pain. They were in the way, so I didn't want to attach them till the end. Okay, so that's that part. Now we have the feeder that needs to go on. So on the feeder, we have this green strip here, and there are arrows on this that are right here. You want your arrow to be facing the outside. So this is the inside, this is the outside. So they go on like this. And it just snaps right on this edge. This is basically to keep the food from, I guess, leaking between the two pieces. And this thing can be sometimes a little bit more difficult to get on. Okay, so once that's in, you just turn it, hook it underneath those brackets right here, and just push down. Now this is I guess a guard of some kind to keep the chicks from digging in the food. I haven't quite figured out what the point of this is. It does have these things to connect them, these little green connectors. The original, and if you notice, one side is short, one side's long, right here. And that's because they'll fit in this little green connector together. One thing that was in the original video is there's supposed to be a piece that comes over this so that the birds can eat out of here without, like when they're chicks, it blocks this off, and when they get older it keeps them from coming out. This did not come with it, and so that's a little concerning, and I don't know if my little chicks are going to be able to actually eat out of this. I would have to have the food all the way up here, and that seems like an awful, this thing is huge, guys. It seems like that's an awful lot of food that I'm going to have to keep in this container, or in this trough. So I don't know. I'm going to have to do, I guess, a little more research on that. And then this just fits in here. I guess it fits on top of the food or something so that they can't scratch in it, but they shouldn't be getting out anyways. So that's kind of a weird setup. Okay, so I said this was going to be my bottom piece. So the next thing we have to do is set up the bottom of this whole contraption. So this is the bottom. This has a whole frame structure to it. So this is our bottom piece. It comes with casters. So we've got to get our casters on. Now there's casters that have, this one does not have a lock on it, so we're going to make that the back. I don't know that this has a front or back designation yet. It will, I guess, once the casters are on, maybe. I think I could screw these on here. Thought about doing this beforehand, but I thought, how hard will that be? That's cross-threading. Let's try the back for this side. You know, he always makes, the guy in the video for their company, he made this stuff look so easy. I think it's kind of cool to have casters on it, make it to where you can move it around if you want. That's actually really convenient. I think they really listened to, I can see on some of this stuff in the, you know, as putting it together, I can see where they've had recommendations from people and they've listened to them and they've, you know, made adjustments or added or changed things according to people's suggestions. Because you can, I mean, things like casters, how many, you know, how many brooders or, you know, have actual casters that come with it. This one just does not like, it doesn't want to cooperate. Can't give up on it now. I'm dedicated to this one. If I come over here a little more. I don't know, there may be some, maybe there's some plastic here in the way. I think that was it. Was just some plastic right along that edge. This does not like me. Again. Got it. I think I got it. Yay! That was what it was. There was some plastic on in the way. On the opening of this. Okay, let's turn it around. Ooh, no. Heavier on one side. Okay. I need some music playing, don't I? It's kind of that awkward silence. I didn't think maybe I should have had these. Maybe all but one screwed on. I don't know. I tried to make it to where most of it was finished before I started this. That way it'd make it go a little faster. That way I could do it all at one time too, because I didn't want to have to try and edit my video. It takes too long with the computer. Okay, so now we have all of our pieces on. Okay, now the front is where the casters are at. So next, this thing gets put on top. Since I decided to make this one the bottom one because my water is higher, it's going to go on the bottom. So, to do that, we get to line these up. Line up the legs. And it should just push right on. Well, it says, I forgot, it said to pull up. Pull up from the bottom, don't push down like I just did. I still wish this was not open on the sides. I don't like that. I don't like my one part being open. Okay, so the next one is over here. So this is our next piece, and this just fits again right on top of it. Up. Now this set here this is a 15-inch set. That means it's 15 inches tall. They do make them in a 9.5-inch setup as well. What I'm thinking about doing is getting another 9.5-inch set, and then putting, like, leaving this like this too, and then putting two 9.5 inches on top. Because I think then that would make it probably about this tall, and that way when you're coming in to come look at chicks to buy, you can at least see them. This one, I don't know if we're going to be able to see the top group or not, but I guess we'll find out. Next one. Ooh, I don't know if I'll be able to put the top one on. It's all lined up. Helping hand to get this on here. Okay. Here, I'm coming. Okay. Yeah, that is way taller than what I was expecting. Way taller. That's going to be impossible to see the chicks that are up here. Now, one thing I could do is order another set of, so this is the top piece, this is what kind of holds it also together. So what I could do is order another set of this top and bottom, and then just make two double layer sets. Or, like I said, maybe I'll have to get a 9-inch set and just put those, and that should bring it to maybe about here. So, yeah. But you don't know until you get it and see how it works. I know we're still not done. So, last piece to go on. Like I said, this is going to really tie it together. I can get it in here. Problems of being short. I'm not that short, but still. Yeah, it should not have been that one last. I don't know. This stuff is plastic, so it can get warped a little bit. I may have to have Logan fix that one. Put that on the table. So Logan's gonna see if he can't fix that for me. So you should be able to bend it a little bit. There you go. There you go. Awesome. So that there is the setup. It's not done yet, so get the rest of this. Just trying to get my camera set up. Okay. So we still have all the water to do. Can you go get me the tub, please? All right, so for the water, we still have this piece here. that needs to be done. Okay, will you let him in? All right, so there's a hole in this tub. There's a hole right here in the tub. And we're just gonna screw this in. Maybe. We're gonna drop it on the floor. We're gonna, oh, there we go. Screw that in there. And I want this to face to the back. And then there's a little cap. It's got like, almost like a little filter piece in it. And that's gonna get screwed onto here as well on the inside. If I can get this through here. This is where you might need a set of pliers or a wrench. Okay, so that is in our tub. This is for our water. This is how the automatic watering system works. So this is the smallest tube that I've got. So they say that cut it, he said cut it to 7 inches, but that was for a 9.5 inch kit. So that is going to fit right here. Maybe. I was expecting it to fit. Ah, there we go. And then it's going to go here. And it's going to hook up to this connection there. And then we get the next one. We're going to hook this one up. So, this tubing up. Get a cramp in your hand to this one. Oh, maybe. You know, if they come up with a quick connect type system, that would be really nice. That's my suggestion to them. Quick connect. It's easier when it's loose because I can just twist it circles and stuff like that. But when I try to connect to the other ones, it's a lot more difficult. Oh, one more to connect. Because this is in the lower port, the lower opening, and this is in the higher opening, we've got some extra tubing. So I hope it doesn't cause a problem. I could always cut it if I wanted to, but right now, since I don't know if this is how this setup is going to always be, I don't want to cut anything right now. Okay, so here we are with our setup. Now, this has a lid too, so lid for the water. I guess I'm gonna have to get a step stool. So for the first week, you want to put, these are the mats that they have. They're just a plastic mat. They're not even rubbery. They're just plain plastic. You want those in the for the babies, for the younger ones. So these are going to fit. We're going to take this off so we can see what we're doing. And actually, you know, we can keep that off of there now that I think about it. Because, I'll show you here in a second. We're going to open this up. This is going to go in here. Just fold it. And it lays in there. The next one. And I think, let me see. So the way they sit in there, no, I thought maybe they would grid onto each other, but they don't. Okay. I I've got to get some light bulbs for this. They say that they take a special kind, A25 or something. I've never heard of it. I don't know what that A25 is. So I'll have to figure out what an A25 or A20 something light bulb is. I just thought a light bulb was a light bulb. But, you know, an LED would be really awesome on this. So for this though, I would think you'd want to put something down over that. Maybe not shavings. I don't know. I'm not a fan of the shavings. This stuff though is thin, is nice enough. It's thick enough. You could probably put babies on that, newly hatched babies. I don't think it would hurt. It's not going to hurt their feet. So then we have our trays, and the trays just fit just straight on the bottom. There's nothing really fancy about how that part works. Since the top is solid, you know, you can just set these on here. So, and then the bottom one, get this on here. So we have this one, and then the bottom one fits on that that piece that we made, or that we put on here. So that's how it stays. So from here, put this where it's going to go, make sure it's going to fit. No stuff in the way. Somebody has boxes, not me. Oh, all over the place. Bookcase. Here we go. That's why I couldn't push it back. So, voila! There's our setup. The sides, the extra, each piece comes, each level comes with its own mats, so you could put these mats in every single one of them. The other thing we haven't attached yet is the cords. I don't know where these, so they just, you know, regular plug-in. They're down here on the bottom, right here, like that. I'll have to get a surge protector, I guess, to plug all those into. The one thing that these do come with, I finally figured out what these little clear things were. These are feeders. These are to start out to when you're feeding them when they're babies. So when they don't fit through this thing, when they would actually walk through it, this is what you're supposed to use these for the first, I guess, couple weeks. Yeah, with as many as I have, they give you enough for 2 for every level. So, but again, I would be filling these up constantly, I think. Though, what I do really like are these waters. Maybe, if I get that off there. So, it came with these little waters because those other ones, the automatic waters don't fit, they don't go all the way to the ground. And, you know, when they're itty bitty, I mean, they're little. So they have these neat little bitty waters that it's just like a regular waterer, but it's like midget size. And these are adorable. And these, man, I started using this in my tubs because I normally have just a cup that's like this, and they're going through it every, you know, hour. So this has been a lifesaver today since it came in, because I haven't had to fill waters every hour. But so you're supposed to start with these and those little feeders. So, and I guess the thing on top again is supposed to keep them from scratching the food out. So we'll see how that works. So I am going to probably get some of these birds out and get one of these at least plugged in, one of these heaters plugged in, and get some of these babies moved over. I haven't decided how I'm gonna do, if I'm gonna keep those mats in there or not. I really don't like them because that for me is something that this has to be cleaned. And I'm afraid if I put shavings on this, it's gonna make a mess. So I don't want to have to use these. So I don't know, we may just go, we may forego these for now and see how the birds handle it. And then, I don't know. But yeah, I need to get this started up and get it going, and then I can move all the birds that hatched on Wednesday into here, get my heat lamps turned off that are in the house, and get some birds moved. And then, so we'll see how they go. So, and we'll get you an update on that here, maybe tomorrow, day after. We'll see how they're all doing. So, and again, I hope you like it. It's a hatching time, 4-layer, 15-inch brooder. I now know why they didn't make a 5 level, because you couldn't get up to the 5th level. The 9.5-inch one, they do make 5 levels to it. So again, it's interesting. It's I'm curious to see how well this thing works. So I'm pretty excited about it. I am. So anyway, that's the whole shooting match right there. Gotta get this thing filled up with water, make sure I don't have any leaks, and then yeah. So I hope you enjoyed it. I know it's taken an hour to put it together, so it's taken me all day to get all of it together. So plan a day. If you get one of these, plan a day to put it together, or have you some helpers. So yeah, or have some vice grips. Maybe that would help. Just vice grips. No, but yeah, it does take a little bit of time to put one together. But yeah, I'm really happy with it. I think it looks really nice. So, and eventually, like I said, it'll be in the shop when we get that up and going, not stuck in a corner of the house. But all right, so till next time.